2019 New Year's Aquarium Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I am going to be sharing with you my 2019 New Year's nail art design, and this one is an aquarium style design, and I have so many other crazy New Year's designs from previous years, and it'd be so easy just to switch out the 2017 or 2018 for 19, so I'll post links to the previous ones in the description box below, so check that out if you happen to miss them. This one, like I said, is an aquarium nail that has 2019 written behind it and glitter floating on top of it. Unfortunately, you can't quite read the 2019 in the video, just the way that the cameras decide to focus, but you can definitely see it in person. So I hope you guys like this, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to take and I'm just going to buff the surface of the nail tip that I'm going to be using just to kind of get rid of the shine and make it a little easier to paint. So I then cleansed it so that there wasn't any dust residue. And then I'm going to be writing my 2019. So there is my 9, starting at the tip of the nail, kind of working my way up. You can start however you like. I just knew that I didn't want it to get too close to the cuticle area because of just the way that the aquariums are. I didn't want to get too close where the little seal for the aquarium would be. Then above that, write your 1. There is one New Year's video, and I don't know if it was last year or the year before, where instead of saying, if it was 2017, instead of saying 2017, I said 2107. And I don't know how I managed to do that. So every year since then, I have been so very, very cautious not to mess up my New Year's nails by writing the wrong date. Something you would think you probably wouldn't need to put too much thought into it, but if you're me, apparently you do, because that's just the kind of special thing that I tend to do. So there I've got my 2019, and it does actually say that this time. And the funny thing is with that, I didn't even realize it said that until people started commenting telling me that I did it for the wrong year. It's like, what do you mean I did it for the wrong year? 7, right? 2017? Yeah. So that was one of my better moments. Anyways, after you have your black lines down, go ahead and just add a little highlight to each number with a thin white line just to kind of brighten them up. That is something that if you were worried about the visibility of the 2019, you could skip that and just leave the black letters. That looks perfectly fine as well. After that, I'm going to be applying a layer of gel sealer over the whole nail just to make sure that it is nice and shiny and the glitter will go on there really well and move within the aquarium. So then on the edges of the nail, so not the free edge or up by the cuticle, but on the actual like sidewall area, I'm going to take and I'm going to make a little wall by the side wall of clear acrylic as a platform for the other nail tip to rest on, so that it creates that nice little hole or cavity between the two tips for your glitter to float. So there's the one side, and then there's the other side. The great thing about working on top of the gel sealer is that your acrylic will stretch really easy, and you'll be able to make those thin little platforms very, very easy. The acrylic will just kind of pull and stretch right into place. So that is a definite benefit of having that on there. So after you have that done, you're going to want to take your nail tip and just apply a little bit more of the clear acrylic as glue, essentially, on top of those little platforms you made. Grab your tip, set that on there. I just tried to adjust my sides a little bit so it fit right. After you have that, pressed and hold that nail tip into place. Once you have it so that it is, they look right. So just grab your nail tip, hold that down there. If it isn't quite right on the sides, if there's a little bit of a gap, that's perfectly fine. You can always file it. You do kind of want to limit the amount of filing you do on this kind of a design, because if you are a little overzealous with your filing, you will possibly file through it and file into your little aquarium right through the walls, and then you may end up by springing a leak, which is definitely not something you want to do. So do be cautious when you file, but obviously filing is an option, so don't sweat it if it's not perfect when you first do it. So then fill in the bottom, so you're going to want to plug the hole at the bottom by the free edge, and then go and fill in most of the top area of your little aquarium, but leave a hole in the very top, in the very center, which you will use to add your glitter and your water or your oil. So I'm going to take some glitter, and I'm not going to put in too much because I do want it to be able to see the 2019 behind that. So I grabbed just a little bit of silver and then a little bit of gold and fill that in. So just kind of tap it in and tap the nail so they kind of fall down in there, and then dust off any extra glitter that is hanging around. And I used water for this one, and people always ask, is there better to use water or oil? And it does have a slightly different effect. The water, the glitter moves a little quicker, which depending on what you're doing, may be a good thing or maybe a bad thing. And the oil, it's a little bit more lethargic looking. It's a little more, moves slowly. So it depends on what you're going for. For this one, I did use water. So fill that up almost to the top, and then just plug your hole basically with a little bit more of your clear acrylic. Brush that down the nail just to encase a little bit of that top nail tip. Then go ahead and file it. Like I said, do be cautious when you are filing so that you don't file through it and spring a leak. And also when you're doing this, if you do happen to see that you have some leaking happening, find that hole as quickly as you can and plug it, or you will end up with no liquid in your aquarium, and then that kind of defeats the purpose. So just be, keep that in the back of your mind to watch for it. So just file the nail into shape very cautiously. It will be thicker than you may normally sculpt your nails. I know for me, I'm looking at this thing like, oh, it's so thick, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. So it is what it is, and you just have to, you live with it. It works, and it's so cool looking, and nobody ever notices the thickness. They see the moving glitter, and they're like, oh, cool. So that's the great thing about these nails. So just, file it and make sure it is not over-filed. Like I said, I'm using a hand file for that specific reason. Usually I would use an e-file just because it is so easy to over-file these. So after you have that all done, I just buffed it really quick and then apply a layer of gel sealer, and it is all done. I hope you guys like this nail as much as I do. Like I said, I do have some crazier nails that I've done in the past, and I will put links to those in the description box below. One of my favorite was a 4D clock where there was a little spinner underneath that when you spun that, it moved the gears on top. So that one is definitely my favorite. But I hope you guys like this one too, and share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!